Alright guys, before we begin tonight's podcast, since it's our penultimate episode, although that whole four-parter that you guys are now getting the final two parts as of last week, are finally going to be up. We have one more song promotion that we're doing before the season closes out, with us having 3 promotional songs throughout the final episode. So here it is! If you guys love that artist, make sure you go in the description below and check them out firsthand. But without further ado, let's hop into the intro.
Growing up and growing old, don't you feel the time moving forward every morning when we rise? If only we could make it right before the sun says goodnight.
Hello everybody! Hello, welcome back to What Grinds Are Gears, the podcast owned by, ran by, and done by with family. Because family is sometimes all you need in life, whether it's just one sibling or 15.
All you need is love. Demonetized. I'm just kidding. God damn it, Beatles. I've been actually meaning to see that movie yesterday. The one where like the Beatles don't exist and this one dude is like, I can be a star kind of thing. But I don't know if I really want to though.
Well, if you want to be a star like that, I guess we'll just let you have it there, buddy.
Have it there, yeah. We should do a podcast of just our most southernest voices ever.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it. But, as you guys can tell, it's me and Britt today. If you guys are wondering where everyone else is, do not worry. Trust me, do not worry. There's a lot going on with just setting up stuff for just some more fancy stuff in the works. So don't worry. They're here. They're just busy.
They're in the fridge. Shh. Cryogenic stuff. Shh.
But anyway, though, I would do the whole fancy intro stuff today, but right now I won't get serious. Why am I getting serious? Well, for the past several weeks, thanks to Twitter, because I network a lot on Twitter now for voice acting, I get hit up a lot with people about the stupidest fucking things. At first it was the whole make a black character white in the Pokemon fandom community, and I was like, okay, what the fuck? I mean, that's dumb, but it's not worth my attention kind of dumb. But the thing that got everyone in their craw was the whole Disney controversy about, firstly, Little Mermaid is with a black lady being Ariel.
What? I mean, I already knew that, but I'm just creating hype. I'm the hype man today. So, what? That's insane, bro. Anyway.
Yeah, like, everyone lost their shit just like, what? There's a black woman being Ariel? Oh, hell no. Why we gonna have someone black being a white character? This is the worst thing ever. And I'm just looking at a bunch of these people going off. I'm like, so you guys have a problem with a person of color being a white character, but when y'all did it with black face, brown face, yellow face, red face, it was cool? Nah, man, that was different. That was a different era. That was several decades ago. Lie again.
For sure. You would think that we would evolve, you know?
I know, but it's like, they're getting so pissed off. I'm like, do you guys not remember the whole mammy jokes? Do you guys forget the whole scene?
I mean, they're not a funny business, but they are like, wow, you know?
Does everyone forget that one Eddie Murphy movie where one of the Ghostbusters was in blackface? Does no one remember
Does anyone remember White Chicks?
Yes!
White face? But that's what they were making fun of, was pretending to be white.
Yeah.
Like, that was the whole movie. It was just pretending to be white. And, like, I don't know. I feel like they all get a pass for that movie, I should say. Because when you think about it, white people enslaved blacks. Let them have their fun, I feel. You know? I don't know. It sounds kind of racist when I say it that way, I guess. But whatever.
I mean, Britt, you're technically not even white.
I know. My husband says I'm mostly white, though.
It's just because you look it, okay? You're a minority in whiteface. It's cool.
Yeah. White facing it up in here.
But, yeah, that's just the whole big argument. But I'm like, can she sing? Like, yeah, she was on Broadway, so what's the problem? Well, she's not a real redhead, and she's black. I'm like, and that matters why? Did you guys even read the original Little Mermaid book? Or, I don't know, look into how mythologies kind of painted sirens and other creatures near water to sometimes be black?
I think it'd be pretty cool if she had the red hair in the movie.
I mean, if she had red hair, I wouldn't have an issue either way. It's just so fucking dumb.
It's like they want to argue over that her skin color is not the original character. But I mean, I guess now that I think about it, think of all those anime adaptation movies where, like, Scarlett Johansson is Motoko from Ghost in the Shell, and they perceived it in a different way. See, I feel like anything that Americans, for some reason, okay, so pretend it's like middle school pottery class or art class or some shit. You're going to play with the pottery wheels. Woo, fun! You got a piece of clay, and everyone's making, like, their creativity, their imagination of whatever the hell, or an ashtray because they don't know how to do shit or they broke it. I've been there. And then here you have Disney with their fucking clay little ball, and they're like, you know what? I'm going to make exactly what we made before, but let's switch it up for diversity and money profiting, you know? And that's, I feel like, well, maybe not just Disney, America, really, just on its own. They just took an idea, and then they just try to call it their own. And they just, like, spin, diversity, culture. A culture accuracy. That's what we're going to do. And the art teacher's like, nah, man, let it go. It's fine. It's okay that you got whatever the hell this is going, but stop white-facing, black-facing, and other shit with your clay. Don't stop using the midnight black, Damien. God damn it. We understand that you like wolves and that your spirit animal might be a dragon, but damn, just bring it down a little bit. Damn, Damien. Abra! Knock it off! I see you playing with the clay. Don't eat it. It doesn't taste good. It's dirt. Here, you want some more? Go outside. It tastes just the same. You want some water with that? Don't. Anyway.
I mean, it's an apt thing because, lo and behold, for a lot of people are just like shock of all shocks about this one thing. Did you know that basically Frozen is a ripoff of Wicked?
I thought it was I thought Frozen was based off a book. And
it's based off the Ice Queen, but it's literally a ripoff of Wicked because, hold on to your hats, folks. Wicked, the story of the Wicked Witch of the West in a whole new light, where she's in school with the Good Witch of the North. And because they're in school and Elphaba is just picked on because of her magical powers and because of her green skin, but we're going to omit the green skin part for this discussion, she's then having a close, bubbly friend, like An, and is just magically turning like this pretty girl that gets the attention, but as soon as like some stuff goes wrong, her magic activates in the most weirdest way imaginable, omitting the stuff of childhood, to then all of a sudden be defying gravity to let it go.
Dun dun dun.
Doesn't that sound a little familiar?
I never saw the Broadway Wicked, and I wanted to.
It's
But if
so
that's how it is,
beautiful.
then wow.
It's so beautiful. Although they change up something from the books that adapted into the musical about how the Scarecrow is now Elphaba's former lover that was turned into the Scarecrow, and she faked her death to be with Scarecrow because fate shit. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, that's basically what Disney was doing and what they have been trying to do because they're so mad they never made Wicked. They are so fucking mad they didn't make Wicked. Like, that's like someone got a vibrator stuck up their own asshole and was just like, I can't let go because it's too painful.
Or like, I can't let go.
That's basically the whole Disney mentality and why I'm kind of a little bit miffed with this whole thing about how these remakes are becoming a problem. Because second case to this argument, as you guys thought we were going off topic, but I do have my reasonings for saying stuff like this. The Mulan remake in production where everyone's losing their shit over 3 things. 1, it's no longer Fa Mulan, but Ha Mulan, with no music for like any of them to sing in the entire film.
It sounds so boring. Like, I like the story of Mulan. Like, if you look up her biography, like, she did it so her father wouldn't go. And then she continued serving for many, many years until... I don't remember if she committed suicide or if she...
That's one of the theories, but I'll get to that.
Yeah, but, like...
Problem the second, no Shang.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And problem the third, no Mushu.
Yeah, I heard about that one.
Wow. Those 3, they're just like, so wait, she's just gonna be a badass warrior that's doing this for her father so that he doesn't have to die in the war, and she's trying to be an ultimate thug and just not have a love interest because badass women don't need to be badass women in order to impress a guy along the way. That's lame! I'm like, what?
I just don't get why they want to go in the direction with that, with Mulan.
Because...
Like, I get it. I feel like if it wasn't Disney and if it was something else, then I think I'd be totally cool with it. But Disney,
actually,
you gotta stop recycling your shit, I feel.
Actually, funny thing about that, there was a movie following the exact story of Mulan that came out around, at the time of this recording, about 4 or 5 years ago, literally named Ha Mulan. Literally her entire biography made by Chinese directors with a full Chinese cast in Cantonese and Chinese and even some Mandarin. Literally chronologizing everything about her journey to go into the military, serve in it, not be discovered, and then come home. That's her whole life story that people have known for years, along with the theories about what happened to her. Because one theory is she committed suicide. One of them is that the emperor tried to put the moves on her, but she rejected him, and she had to escape the big palace in the Forbidden City and was never heard from again in history. Others are just like, she just was never heard from again after just one tour for the Chinese military that just happened to never put her in the books. No one knows what happened to Ha Mulan after her original story, and it's kind of like one of the biggest mysteries in Chinese military acts of all time, where even some people debate if Mulan even was a real-life person. But I digress. The way Disney wants to do it as a shot-for-shot remake without music, though, is the only issue I have. Because her not having a love interest, I'm down with it. Not every movie needs a love interest. Believe me, I write scripts as well, and I would talk to writers all the time. You don't need a love interest in every story. The stuff with not having Mushu, if you're trying to be less in people's face offensive, I can understand trying to be more culturally sensitive and try to like simplify your whole bullshit Disney formula. I get that. But the rest of the stuff is just kind of one of the bigger reasons why Disney is kind of one of the biggest supplies of dumbasses I've ever known to ever exist. Which is what everyone has been saying all over my timeline, that these remakes are the biggest waste of money, because instead of pouring all these resources into these films that people really don't need, because the DVD sales, from what I've researched, are like twice if not 3 times as much as any of the films that they have produced, because DVDs are being more acceptable because movie prices and movie theaters are getting too fucking expensive. Your remake basis is the dumbest thing, because I've seen some of the discarded films that Disney has passed up on that would have made them a lot more money. And for them to just piss it all away to be like, these nice stories that are a little bit darker like what we used to do, even during the golden renaissance of our careers, seems like a great idea, but what if we get Will Smith to be an Aladdin?
Right.
What if, and follow me on this, what if we get a Broadway singer to do stuff in The Little Mermaid? What if we get Hermione Granger in Beauty and the Beast? What if, now follow me, what if we make Dumbo with Tim Burton?
Oh yeah, I forgot Tim Burton was directing that.
It's just like, Disney, do you hate your fans? I mean, we knew you hated your fans when you're just like, fuck you, Netflix, we're gonna make our own streaming sites and take everything people liked to then move to there. Like, I already knew you guys hated your fans along the way. That's why I don't fuck with you anymore. But do you honestly hate your fan base so much to the point where not only do you personally, with your own teams in Square Enix, water down your own video games that people love to play, but you also want to pigeonhole a lot of great creators to make the most bullshit remakes and redesigns because you want to scrape the bottom of the barrel instead of digging into a well for gold? That's all I'm trying to say. Britt, what's your whole take on this whole subject?
I just think that Disney needs to probably, not keep making remakes. I mean, I guess it's kind of cool that they're trying to bring these all back. What if it's a device? Oh my god. Imagine, they're all making these remakes in the time of us millennials and shit like that, so we can get uppity, go and see the movie, and still make a profit from us. Oh my god. I cracked the code. Fuck, government's gonna come after me. Anyway, no. But no. When you think about it I feel like if you think about it all in a whole, Disney needs to just go, I feel like they should just go back to their original formula of just finding a goddamn story, reinterpret it the way they did with Frozen and Mulan, and basically every goddamn movie they had before, and just kind of work off that. Because I feel like they did a better presentation of that instead of trying to make these historically accurate movies of, Aladdin and Mulan and they got Lion King coming out soon. That one, I'm kind of curious how Donald Glover is gonna Glover, yeah, how he's gonna voice act with Simba. I mean, who is it? James Earl Jones is back in it, so I guess he's okay with it. I feel like if if some of the original voice actors, just like I'm gonna say it, like Teen Titans Go, if they were willing to go and do that project with their voices, then I guess it can't be that bad. But I mean, I saw Aladdin. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad, but it wasn't fantastic. Like, maybe I would have really liked it if I have not already grew up with the
Original.
with the Aladdin. Yeah, with the original. And it's like, why, Disney? Why? Why do you want to keep making the remakes? I have no problem with their changes of here and there. It's pretty cool to see a different interpretation of how that movie could have been. But in a way, I feel like it's a waste of money. But I'm also not a billionaire company, so I guess hooray for them. I guess.
I guess. I can't say hooray for them because I can't fucking stand Disney, but I'm saving that for when I finally get back into my editorial series about perspective, a faulty medium, shameless plug here. But moving on from my hatred of Disney as well as the whole reboot debacle, we're going to move on to a happier topic. Broadway. So, for
Broadway.
For those of you guys that haven't heard anything about what recently happened in New York's Manhattan side of the boroughs, there was a huge blackout that happened where afterwards 2 major productions of Waitresses and Hadestown performed live in the streets for everyone on the Broadway strip. And I know what you guys are thinking, like, but V, why are you having Britt talk about just the blackout? Isn't that just like a news thing? Well, that wasn't really the segue. The segue is I wanted to talk about Hadestown. And you're probably also wondering why am I trying to talk about Hadestown? I'm not like a musical guy. You just seem like one of those guys that likes to talk about sex jokes all the time. Well, 1, that's kind of like everyone in America. 2, I do enjoy musicals. I just hate certain ones. Just like I hate certain William Shakespeare play that I won't go into. But the thing I want to talk about with Hadestown is how oddly uncomfortable it is as a musical. So, Britt, are you ready for the story of Hadestown?
Yes, I am. I'm very curious, actually.
So, Hadestown, set kind of in a Depression-era America. It's also during the story of Orpheus and Eurydice. However, unlike in the original where it was just basically Orpheus was this awesome guy that was like a SoundCloud guy with a guitar, he's just now in the Depression just like, hey guys, I got some dope songs with my guitar. I'm also gonna be on Dirt Cloud, okay? I got my manager Mole here. We about to sell some CDs that I made with tree bark and whatnot. All I need is like $5. Because, you know, the Depression had everyone all fucked up. And he's still engaged to Eurydice, but everyone's just all destitute and whatnot in the Depression. With a mysterious lady with the season of summer in her suitcase.
Wow.
That is Persephone in the musical. But you're also probably just like, but if it's Hadestown, what's Hades doing? Here's where the musical gets a little weird and where it gets a little bit uncomfortable. So, in the musical, with Hermes being like the narrator about the whole thing as a psychopomp, because everyone in this musical, if you guys kind of take a little bit of a hint to it, will die. Everyone that is a main character that isn't a god or one of the fates is going to die. Even the extras behind them, long since dead. And Hermes as a psychopomp is retelling the story for the audience members where you guys watching the musical are technically one of the dead. It's an amazing device when you just take apart the mythological aspect when you go into the musical blindly, because then you're just like, why is Hermes telling the story? But now you know. Where Hades in the whole thing during the Depression had a mining city deep underground called Hades Town, where he was rich as fuck.
Wow.
And he was prospering, but he was also, and I shit you not, having the workers of this factory city build a wall to keep out the enemies.
Wow.
I will repeat that. This musical that started off in 2007 to have then a concept album drop in 2010 to then be released to the public in 2016 off Broadway had Hades, the god of the underworld, and also moved into the position of god of riches, was building a wall in a musical where he was a rich tyrant of a mechanical city underground, was building a wall.
Wow. Wow.
Now, I'm not trying to make it seem like it was propaganda, because, again, it predates the usual thing that's the joke about it. But it's just kind of uncomfortable in retrospect, because it's like, what the fuck were you thinking having a god build a wall for the dead? Where are the dead going to go? They're dead. That's just dumb. What's next? We're gonna put life vests on people that have already been deceased when they're going over the waterfall? Where are the dead gonna go? They're dead!
I like Mulan's grandma in the animated series. I need to go pray to the ancestors. Oh, why? They're all dead.
That's why I'm just like, what the fuck is with this wall? But I digress. It's an amazing musical that also covers the myth pretty well, where Orpheus is still a fucking idiot. Of like, okay, I'm gonna just go down there, I'm gonna talk to Hades, get her out of this contract to be in Hades Town forever, and with this dope song, I'm gonna get my fiance back. He sings the song where, if I'm being honest, guys, if you hear the live official soundtrack that was made by the 2016 cast, one of the best casting choices I've ever seen from from any musical aside from Hamilton. If you play the song Epic 3, it's so beautiful that personally I almost cried several times listening to that song. But I digress. With that one, it's kind of just setting up the whole thing about where Hades in the whole musical was of, he loves his wife, but things have been weird where every time she leaves for the spring and summer, he's left all alone, so he builds things like a mechanical sun for her, or like heating so she's not cold underneath the earth's crust and whatnot, making sure that she has an artificial garden. He cares, he's just going about things the wrong way, and he feels like even though he doesn't want to lose her, he already lost her from his own need to try and keep her with him. And that's sad when you guys all of a sudden take time to also think, if you're in the shoes of someone that's married, like, for me and for my brother-in-law, who we'll call hashtag Satan, if we were to hold on to our spouses that hard and just feel like we're trying to do our best in every regard and still feel like we're failing with our own actions and whatnot, it hits home a lot harder to where you're just worried constantly about where you're trying to go with things and desperately trying to see if you can fix things before it's too late. But the musical ends the same way it always does. Orpheus looks back to see if Eurydice's there. She's gone now to the underworld. He's then sad and whatnot, but his fate is kind of like left open into interpretation for the audience of, did he finally commit suicide the way he wanted to and end up getting his head chopped off? by some of the fangirls of Dionysus, the wine god? Did he just finally get himself killed to then walk alongside the river Styx with Eurydice, where he can look at her all day long if he wants to? It's literally open to interpretation because, like I said before, you as the audience are among the dead hearing the story from Hermes, the psychopomp. Because everyone in the story that's not one of the fates or the gods are dead. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Hades Town.
It's quite a story.
It's so beautiful.
I wonder if I could find it on YouTube.
You can find the official live soundtrack on YouTube, but you only get like clips of like the 2019 cast of it.
Oh.
Which isn't the best cast for me, but that's because I'm kind of already stuck on the 2016 cast. No offense to the people that are in the show right now. I'm just a huge fan of the original cast.
Can we talk about how there's some musicals out there that you wouldn't believe, but they exist because of it? Like Shrek the musical.
Oh yeah, I was thinking the color purple.
Oh, that one too. That one. I wonder why.
I don't know.
But anyway, yeah. So, what? Think about Broadway's. They're usually sung in a happy tune, right? And with some of them with a comedy and this and that, or I think all of them do. I don't really know the exact terms that Broadway goes by. But
dramatic comedy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. Like, that's really all I got to say for it, honestly, now that I think about it. My daughter, she's been into... is my fault, too. I'll admit that right now. It's on Netflix, Shrek the Musical. I recommend everyone watching it. Because, to be honest, after watching it, like the movie, 1,000,000 times when she was 2 years old, like 5 years ago, it was so freaking like, yeah, okay, yeah, it's funny. I could recite all the lines. But if you watch the musical on it, it feels like there's more character depth in it, surprisingly. And I was actually surprised. I actually like some of the songs in there too. Very catchy. The characters stayed with their character in their own way. Like it definitely is very like professional and such. Legally Blonde, I don't know yet. I kind of want to see how that one plays out. But I feel like there's some musicals that probably shouldn't be like remade like that. Maybe that's what the title of this video should be. Is like, no remakes, please.
No remakes, please. Yeah. I don't know. For me, a lot of the things with musicals are hard to come by. That's why when I found out about Hades Town the way I did, I was just so fucking happy. Like, you guys have no idea how hard it is to find a good enough show that's not only able to be a good interpretation, but have an original spin to it. And that's why the dichotomy of this to the Disney discussion is why I enjoyed bringing this topic up the way I did. You can have an original twist to any sort of good story, even if the story that's being told is about a guy that's so arrogant he thought that his song alone could bend nature to his very whim, and his own cocky demeanor could just be able to question anything without any consequences. You can make a great interpretation make it as dark or as witty or as dramatically comical, or whatever means you want in the best way imaginable. But you don't need to do it to a way that seems like you have to scrape the own bottom of the barrel to just appease one denomination or another. You don't need to do something that's just by the books in whatever regards that you believe is the one way to make everyone happy. You can't make everyone happy in the entertainment industry. You can't do that in any field as a creative. Try asking me and Britt that after trying to talk to people about commission work. People will still complain about what you do afterwards to all their friends afterwards, after they just speak all kindly to you, only to then be like, yeah, it was good, but I wanted something a little bit better with this, and it just turned out to not be...
For sure.
And with stuff like this, or with Waitresses, with Hamilton, with Dear Evan Henson, it feels like you know how to do a better property when you stop caring about the market that you're trying to appease for whatever reason. When you end up doing stuff that's more freeing, you end up in a better place for it. That's the only reason I wanted to bring up the whole Broadway thing since Disney was on the table, because I think Broadway has done what the mouse has failed to do. And that's keep evolving.
Hell yeah.
See, guys, I can be an adult and say a bunch of smart stuff. I just prefer to seem like the perverted old man because the original wearer of the pervert crown is busy at the moment. Oh, Sally, we miss you.
Come back, please holding me in the hostage.
Anywho's, I would say we have another topic for you guys, but in all honesty, I think I want to save the next topic I'm thinking about for the finale for this season, because season 3 has been all kinds of weird. We've talked a lot of big game about things. We've talked a lot of downtrodden stuff. We've gone down some very personal lanes. We've talked about the good. We've talked about the bad. We've talked a lot about the happy. We've talked a lot about the sad. But the next stuff we gotta do, that's gonna be when we're doing stuff live, baby! So if you guys want to see all that shit that we're gonna be popping off with soonish, we're gonna be doing the entirety of the finale live on Twitch, to where I honest to God, am going to be super excited to do all this stuff live with you all, getting all the music together, getting as many guests. We might do this on Discord instead of our usual setup, so we can have even more people join. And just go to town, babies. Just go to town.
Mm-hmm.
So, any final thoughts about these two topics, Britt? The floor is yours, because I've been talking up a storm.
I particularly don't really have anything more to say to it. It's just, why the remakes? Why? You know? It's just go back to what you were doing, Disney and Broadway. You keep doing what you're doing. Show us some leg, girl, or break a leg, or boy, or non-binary person, whatever that makes people happy nowadays. But yeah, Disney and Broadway. What wonderful topics, honestly. You know?
Yeah, because then I got to show off my my love of the theater for once. That was an odd thing to finally unveil to everybody. Although now I'm trying to come up with a bunch of different countdowns for everything, like top 10 Hades Town songs, top 10 shittiest musicals to ever exist. I'm looking at you, Rodgers and Hammerstein, for some of your catalog. But then I also got to start looking into stuff like the top 10 movies of the 2010s and top 10 songs of the 2010s, and top 10 video games of the 2010s. Oh my god, so many top 10 lists need to be made for the 2010s. Holy fuck. Why does YouTube also have to suck?
Who knows?
I mean, I love it as a concept, but right now it just fucking sucks. YouTube, I want you to personally get your shit together before I get my favorite barbed wire boxing gloves, catch you outside, and...
Should be drinking more water, lady, please. We got something to feed. You will always be something, I will be me.